Hello and welcome to F1 Now. In this video, we're going to be reflecting on quali in Melbourne, pointing out the biggest winners and losers. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we got to see the first quali of the season and it was fireworks to say the least, and it really showed a lot about where the teams stack up. There were definitely a lot of good surprises and bad ones, so let's get into it. Now, as expected, McLaren came out with the front row lockouts in the end, with Lando leading the pack, but it did look at various times like it could well have gone the other team's way. But in Q3 it seemed like McLaren was just found another level to their MCL39 and just left the rest behind with their one lap pace. It's definitely nice to see Piastri right there with Lando, because you can tell that Piastri has it in him to fight it out with Lando if it came down to it in the championship. Now, who could have thought that Verstappen would be right behind these guys? I mean, like I've said before, you can always count on Max to be a factor in the quali or race, but I really didn't see a Red Bull behind McLaren's with that much pace. So being that we most likely have a wet race tomorrow, it's going to be amazing between these guys. But I should remind you guys that in the past, the McLarens have been really good in the wet when they are up front, so they might just run away with it. But fingers crossed it doesn't go down like that. Now for Mercedes, they probably came out of quali with mixed feelings because they had Russell also showing a level of performance we also didn't expect, like with Verstappen. But the biggest surprise team for me has to be Williams, who had both drivers into Q3, and I really can't wait to see how they will go in the race. And I did say it before that look out for Williams because they might be cooking something there. But the standout driver has to be Yuki. I mean, come on, Yuki has said a lot in that quali without a single word coming out of his mouth. Marco will be scratching his head about his decision making with that one. Now, a big surprise I didn't think I would have in the losers category would have to be Ferrari. I mean, through our practice sessions, Ferrari looked to be right there with McLaren, and I guess we all expected it to be decided between them, especially with Leclerc, but it turns out the car was just not fast or was overheating the tires by the time they got to the third sector. Definitely a shocker and disappointment. Now, the rookies also seem to have an embarrassing day today, except for Hajar and maybe Bortoleto, who beat his teammates out of Q1. But for Antonelli, it was a bad one today, considering the difference between him and Russell. But he can blame it on the damage sustained in the car that apparently lost him about 3/10 in every sector. Bearman just never even got a run in because of his crash on Friday, so it will be intense for him during the race. Liam, however, it seemed like he just couldn't extract the best out of the car, and that is the reason why Yuki came out looking good in this quali and Helmut Marko looking stumped. Now that is it for the biggest winners and losers in quali. I'm curious to hear from you guys about what else y'all noticed that could have been added. So don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Once again, thank you and bye for now.